guys? It's your boy, Colin aka DJ Vu, coming at you with a very special track breakdown. The track today being my upcoming release, Don't Go Falling in Love, with my man, Vincent Harris, the vocalist. And the reason why I'm doing this is to showcase you guys some of the tracks that are going on behind my upcoming album, Vivid. And as part of this, I'll be going into how exactly I made the track. I'll start off with the story. I'll go into a little bit of the track breakdown to give some of you non-producers some insights of what goes on, and then for you producers, give you guys some production tips, then wrap it up as we go on from there. So, first off, the story behind this track. It's actually, this track I think originally started off as like every other one of my projects, with a couple exceptions. Start off with a chord melody progression. I was jamming on top of a Pandora station. I think it was like 4 or 5 months back, I want to say. Just starting off, I think I was in kind of a sad mood, so I had to add station going. So start off with that. Got the chord progression. Originally, when I made the melody, I thought it was kind of a really sad melody. But then as I started layering it, it started to kind of get this happy, slightly cheesy feel to it, kind of like an Audien-esque leaving you feel cheesy, if you want to put it that way. And then from there, I wasn't quite sure where I wanted to go with it, because it already kind of had a happy instrumental sound, but the melody was kind of sad. So I wasn't sure where to go from there, so I figured, you know what? It needs a vocalist. So I pitched it over to my man, Vince Harris, who's connected by a good friend of ours, Caleb Golston. Shout out to you, my man, if you're watching this. He's definitely one of the, I want to say, co-producers who's been making a lot of these projects happen. Basically, sent it over to him. He banged out the vocals, and to be honest, when I first heard them, because I think it's still in the back of my mind, I still felt like it was kind of a happy track, so I was listening and I was like, I don't know, I'm not sure if the vocals work too well. But then, as I started listening to them more and more, it really started to grow on me, and now they got stuck in my head to the point where now I just can't get it out. And because it's at least a song about love and everything, I was talking to him, and I think if you guys see my weekly wrap-up videos, I talked to him about doing a big release for this around Valentine's Day, since it being the season of couples coming together, or the lack thereof, and all of us single people remembering it. Definitely in that boat. You figure, make a promotion around that. Give you guys, give you lovebirds out there, a song to, I guess, ironically sing about, and then for your single people out there, a song to sing your sorrows away. So that was kind of the story and the idea behind the track. Now we'll get to the fun part of it for you producers out there. We'll get to the track breakdown. Alright, so we have the project open, and let me just give you a preview of the drop. Alright, so let's see, what do we want to go to first? I think we'll start out with the bass. So the bass isn't, layer-wise, isn't too complicated. At least when I last remembered, it's actually been a while since I opened this project, so it'll be a learning experience for me as well. If you guys have seen my past track breakdown videos, I really love this. I think it's quarter, half pulse wave, pan hard left, hard right, put it down. I think, what do I have these? I have it playing on, like an octave below, or actually right below middle C, so it's about the same. So I'll have it, tune it hard left, hard right, and then just have it playing the root note, so it gives it that really nice low end. Then I threw a little sausage fattener on it, because at least I find that, actually I'll take it off and you can kind of hear what the difference is. The bass tends to have a little bit more, or too much dynamics for my liking, so I would like to put a little bit of sausage fattener on top of it to kind of make sure every single note's hitting at about the same level, so no note's louder than the other. Plus it gives it a little bit more mid-range from what I found. Then did some EQing just to take out all the tops so I can make room for the saw pads. Sidechain here, so when the kick hits, it ducks out. And previous videos, I've showed you guys how to do that, so I won't go over that again. So if you want to find that out, go check out my previous track breakdowns, and I'll go over how you do that specifically in FL Studio. So that's the bass, probably the least complicated part of it. The saw wave Actually, this was... Let me take off the kick. So that was actually super simple as well. Let's see, I think it was 2 layers I needed to do. So yeah, first one of them was just actually a square wave, 2 of them detuned. And then I layered that with an atmosphere saw wave. I find that actually, at least something that I found interesting, I've tried in a couple other tracks, is that if you layer, I know a lot of people like to, when they do layering of super saws, they like to take like 3 or 4 instances, detune it a little bit, and then you can kind of do some complicated EQing all together, and then you get this really, really big, thick super saw sound. But another thing I think I think you guys starting out who don't want to be that meticulous and maybe don't have quite the ear to figure out getting all the super saw sounds to work together. What I found is that if you just do basic super saw, atmosphere, again I'm not gonna open it because I'll probably crash the whole thing. Then you figure out like another sound. I personally like square wave. I think you could probably do it with. You could probably do it with a eighth if you really want to. But I find if you do it with different sound and you haven't played the same things, it kind of the contrast of the 2 sounds blends together. They give it a really nice feel. And for square waves, I find they tend to have the, I wouldn't say the warmest because that's definitely super saw, but in terms of the mid range, it seems like it tends to fill it out a little bit better, if that's the right way of putting it. Again, I'm not I'm not speaking professor right now, but that's just how I hear my ear. So you combine them together, and then I think there's a little what is it? Yeah, so I have also, in addition to that, what I like doing, if this will load without crashing everything, which is what I find if you layer kind of the Lush saw sounds with kind of a thick, grittier one. Maybe turn it up a little bit so you can hear it, obviously. It gives the contrast between you got the gritty sound, you got the really lush super saw sound, and then you kind of got the wooden ones. I'm not sure, for lack of a better word, boxy sort of square sound. So the combination of the 3 contrasting sounds, they all work really well together. Of course, EQing out of each other's ways. So if you notice, I'm taking a lot of low end out here because if I don't do that, you notice that if I at least enable it, you don't really hear a difference if I turn it on and off. And that's because the low end's already being filled up by the bass. So if I didn't high cut it here, it's really just an excess. You'll just get some phase problems because you got the grindy thing fighting with the bass, and it just doesn't sound good. So if you high cut it, and you don't really hear a difference, you probably leave it like that. It's probably a good thing. And then just a little EQing. And then, of course, the good old white noise. Again, as I talked about in previous videos, do a little bit Camel Crusher on top. Because it gives a little bit brighter. Yep, just high pass, of course, because everything lower than that sounds really bad. I guess another thing that you might find interesting, I think that you guys will find helpful, is kind of getting that lush piano sound. And it took me a while, but at least to figure out. But once I did, I've been definitely abusing it like crazy. So what you do, again, I like to pop up my favorite MDA piano here. So you kind of get that. You get that kind of nice, soft, jazzy sound to it. And then here, you get a little... That's the thing that gives it the really lush sound. So this is the piano's kind of giving it mostly the attack, and this is kind of giving it the warmth here. Open it this for you guys. Let's see, I think I only have... Yeah, so these are all the settings here. I always love doing here. So you do 6/8 voices, detune it. Low pass, I find if you do that, it tends to give your super saws a really warm sound, because if I open it all, see, it's kind of bright and it's kind of warm, but if you close it, you got that kind of warmer sound. And then down here, got mod envelopes. I'm not gonna go into super detail about that if you guys don't know what all these different buttons are doing. The A, D, S, and R here. Just look at a quick YouTube. I think of YouTube. Centaureal's got some great ones. Definitely haven't plugged that plugin enough. We'll check out that, go over that. But basically, yeah, automating all this and doing a little bit of, putting a little bit of LFO on both the pitch and the cutoff. It seems like it doesn't make the sound super static, gives it a little bit of movement. So that way when you combine the piano and the saw together, you get that lush sound. and then putting a little bit of a pluck in the background. Yeah, overall, I think it's actually a pretty, in terms of all my other tracks, it's a pretty simple, the sound layering is pretty simple. It's really what's carrying it. It's just good chord voicing, solid melody, and then a solid kick-ass vocal from my friend. In terms of vocal processing, actually he did most of the editing and cutting on his end, so you would have to ask him most of those questions. All I did to it, let's see, what did I do? There was a lot. I wouldn't say there's a whole much going on, but again, a little bit of sound goodizer because I like gives it a little bit of a top end. Some EQing for his voice because I want a little bit more top end. Limiter, sidechain it when the kick hits. Delay to give it some room. Spitfish. Actually, my favorite de-essing plugin. I love using this on my at least air sounds. Going down to the hi-hat less sizzle preset. Turn that on. Put the stereo up. Depth. That just controls how much away you want to take it. How much of the de-essing you want to take away of it. And then that tends to really smooth out the top for your filter to automate that. And yeah, outside of that, that's pretty much the whole track right there. So with the combination of all those different elements, you get the final result, which sounds like this. Alright, so that's been my track Don't Go Falling in Love that I collaborated on with my man Vincent Harris. Hope you guys enjoy. Should be coming out on February 8th. Depending on... Yeah, I think it will be coming out February 8th. Not sure if we're going to be getting any blog support or YouTube support for this one, but sending it around. Fingers crossed for it. If we do end it up, and you do end up seeing it on the blog, shout out to whoever blog is linking it up there. Give them a lot of love. Again, a lot of these smaller producers really have a hard time getting on them. So the very fact you guys come and check them out, it kind of helps, it helps them not necessarily focus on the big guys so much, but give us the little guys a chance. So if you guys are watching this on the blog, really appreciate that. With that diversion aside, it's been your boy Colin Ward, aka Deja Vu, signing out. Hope you guys enjoyed this little breakdown video. Be sure to leave in the comments if you guys liked it. Maybe some other questions you have about the track, be sure to leave them down below. We love it. I'm always happy to answer them. If you have any vocalist questions, leave them down below and I'll see if I can pass them on to my man Vincent. So, whatever it is, if you got a question, comment, rant, whatever, try to stay away from politics, as tempting as it might be. Just post it down below, and I'll be happy to answer. So, that has been your boy, Colin Warren, aka Deja Vu, signing out. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and until the next one, stay awesome, keep pursuing your dreams, and yeah, check out with that.